So I made videos about the Finnish language before, learning about it. Recently I made one learning about the word perkele, and it was very funny, very interesting. The Finnish language has got to be one of the most unique and one of the most interesting languages, so I wanted to learn more about it. This one is Finnish language, Suomen kieli, and yeah, we're going to learn about it today. Tell me what you think about this video. Tell me anything interesting about the Finnish language. Let's watch.
The Finnish language, or Suomen kieli, is the
Suomen
language
kieli.
spoken in Finland.
No shit.
It's not the most spoken language in the world. Neither it's not the oldest one or even the hardest one to learn. But it's most definitely quite an interesting language.
What is this? Mielenkiintoisia. This one is like, it's always words like this. I find it quite interesting because got some of the longest words, but it's just a very interesting structure, like all the double letters and things like that as well. For me, it's quite difficult to actually say some of the words.
Many people have an image of the Finnish language being extremely hard, but many would argue that it's not that hard, it's just different. Take for example the Nordic languages, Swedish, Norwegian, Danish and Icelandic. Learn one and you can basically handle the rest of them. And then there is Finnish, a completely different language from the other Nordic languages. Hence, it's more difficult. As mentioned in the beginning, the Finnish language is not particularly old. The spoken language is thousands of years old, but the written Finnish started to emerge as late as in the 1500s. The base for the written Finnish was made by a dude called Mikael Agricola. Agricola was a bishop and a reformer. The big idea at the time was to make it so that everyone could read the Bible in their own native language, and thus Agricola had to basically invent a written form for Finnish. The first book written in Finnish was Agricola's translation, se Uusi Testamentti. Finnish is a phonetic language, meaning that the written form is the same as the spoken form, and this makes it easy to learn Finnish. As it is well known, this is not the case in English, and thus you need phonetic symbols. If you encounter a strange word, you can't possibly know what the correct way is to pronounce it, and you must guess.
Yeah, that's true. That I think that's the thing. Yeah, it's like, especially with those longer words, it is, you have to kind of take a guess. And obviously it's probably, for somebody like me, it's probably most of the time going to be wrong because I don't have the sounds of each part of the word correct. But just with regards to when he's talking about those other Northern European countries and Finland being a little bit different from them, do you think that changes like the personality of Finnish people? Do you think Finnish people are quite different from the rest of Northern Europe because the language is so different? Do you see similarities with Estonian people because the languages are similar, or is that just not the case?
Game? What's a game?
A really good example of this is Mercedes. In English it has 3 different E's in it, but in Finnish it's just Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Finnish is quite a simple language, as many of the words in Finnish are quite literal.
Is that a word? Let me just see that again. Jäksinkertainen. Jäksinkertainen.
Finnish are quite literal. For example, a fridge. It is a closet-like object and it's cold inside. And originally it used ice to lower the temperature. Hence, it is called jääkaappi.
Jääkaappi.
Literally meaning ice closet. I'll
Makes
give you
sense.
another example. A computer. You use it to gather valuable information, and it's a machine. It is only natural that it is called tietokone or
Tietokone.
knowledge machine.
Knowledge machine. Knowledge machine does sound better actually.
It seems that the vocabulary in Finnish is not as large than what it is in English. This is demonstrated well with the legendary example, kuusi palaa,
Kuusipala. Kuusipala.
which can be translated to multiple different meanings.
The spruce is on fire. The spruce returns. The number 6 is on fire. Wow, there's really a lot of different meanings there, yeah.
This is a great source of
Kuusipala.
comedy, but at the same time confusing as hell. For example, you strongly agree with someone and you might say, sanoppa muuta,
Sanopa muuta.
which literally means, say muu. But what if you say the opposite? Älä muuta sano.
Älä muuta sano.
Don't say muu. Well, that can be used in the exact same context. One thing that makes learning Finnish easy is the fact that you don't have to remember to specify the different pronouns between males and females. You can just say hän.
Hän.
This makes Finnish an excellent language for the sake of gender neutrality. Why bother yourself learning thousands of pronouns when you can just learn Finnish? Whether a person identifies themselves as a man, woman, cat or a battle helicopter, you can always refer to that person in Finnish as hän.
Hän. So do you have any like in a lot of other countries like the US, UK, there is a lot of people who complain about being misgendered when they're trans and things like that. Do you just not have that problem? Are they just not able to be misgendered in Finland? Hän.
I'll give you an example. If we try to say the following sentence, what pronoun do we use for helicopter? In Finnish, this is no problem. Sauli väittää olevansa helikopteri, ja siksi hän on outo. Because we didn't have to guess the correct pronoun and avoided using an incorrect one, no one's feelings were harmed. One aspect where foreigners can struggle when learning Finnish is compounds, i.e. yhdyssanat
Iidasanat.
in Finnish. I notice because many native Finns can't always figure them out, me included. But usually a quick Google search is all you need.
So yeah, do Finnish people sometimes have problems with learning the Finnish language or anything like that? And if you're from one part of Finland, do you ever have any difficulties or another place in Finland that you find it difficult to understand people from there? I'm from Glasgow in Scotland. Sometimes I find it difficult to understand people from like the very northern parts of Scotland because they have very strong accents, use a lot of different words and things like that. Is there the same thing in Finland?
In most of the cases, you can still understand a text even when there are compounds errors, so they are not that big of a deal. But misusing compounds is the most effective way to anger grammar Nazis. Now then, if you yet don't understand Finnish, should you learn it? I don't know. Are there more useful languages in general to learn? Definitely. But learning Finnish could also be beneficial. Naturally, visiting or living in Finland would be much easier. You would also understand better the Finnish humor, so that would be nice. On those rare occasions when Finnish is used in the pop culture, you can be like this.
I understood that reference.
On a second thought, you definitely should learn Finnish. As demonstrated in this video, it's not that hard, and you should develop sufficient skills to get you through everyday situations in no time. For example, a typical Finnish grocery store trip.
Mitä sinä tarvitset? Olutta, olutta, olutta,
Ja tietysti hyvää suomalaista.
olutta.
Okay, man, that was good. Yeah, so that did actually make it seem a bit easier to understand. I think I watched a video before. It was like a lot more in depth. That was a bit intimidating, but this one was a bit more like simplified it, so I quite enjoy that. Tell me what you think about the Finnish language. Tell me what you think about the reputation of the Finnish language. And yeah, recommend some more Finnish memes and stuff. And I'll check them out soon. Thanks.